This is our once beautiful sailboat Envision, washed up on shore, destroyed after a hurricane, and being featured on a national news broadcast. How did we get here, and what happens next? Hey there, long time no see. Susie and I are currently on a 126-mile trip, and we hope you'll come along with us. But first, we need to explain what's been going on. This is Envision as she sailed away with her new owners to be taken down somewhere near Sarasota, Florida, and one of our viewers happened to live on another sailboat in the anchorage here and saw her anchored out, but also reported that she was parked in too shallow of water, causing her to heel over at low tide. Now remember, we sold Envision for $16,000, but after Hurricane Milton, look, she's for sale again on Facebook Marketplace for only $6,000, not long after we sold her, saying that it got damaged from the storm. Basically, she's for sale again. We couldn't believe it. It came as a total surprise. But just like the other times, it wouldn't be the last time we heard about Envision. Time to look for another boat. The first boat we went to look at was a 1983 Chris Craft Catalina. These are actually pretty cool and they have a good following, but this one was from 1983. It was in our marina. It was kept up okay, but it was only $10,000. We could spend a little more on a boat, and this one just ended up needing a little more than we wanted to put into it. So it ended up not being the boat for us. But after we looked at this boat, we both kind of liked the idea of this Chris Craft Catalina. So we found one that was supposedly a little bit nicer about an hour away, and we drove down to see that one. Boat number 2 was another Chris Craft Catalina, early or mid-80s, like the other one. See how that little tiny rudder on this thing? How small it is?
Where?
Look at the rudder under there. That's it.
Oh.
So backing up, it must be bad reversing. This one looked like in the pictures it was in a little bit better condition, but I'm glad we didn't just drive down there to look at the boat. We were already there camping because these boats just look like they require a lot of work, maybe a few projects if you want to make them nicer or kind of restore them, and we already did that with our 1969 camper, so we didn't want to go through all that again. And overall, I just saw too many things that needed to be made better. It did have a newer or rebuilt engine, and everything worked. The trailer was in kind of bad condition, and we didn't have a tow vehicle at this point anyways, so we would have had to just plop it in the water and drive it home or have someone deliver it. It just all didn't add up for us. We didn't feel like it was the right boat for us, so we passed on this one too. All right, we're on the way to look at our third boat, cruising along. And hopefully this one's it. All right, boat number 3 was a 2001 Four Winds Vista. We like this a lot better than the other two because it was a lot nicer and more modern. You could spend a day out on the water with your friends or still take a trip for a week or a weekend in this boat. It had a nice galley, a bed to sleep in, and a nice head. So far, a better boat. You had replaced?
Yes, yeah, so that's only about a year old, and you have to put one on that to protect the Outdrive. If you don't,
This boat ticked all the boxes. We made an offer and it was accepted. A few days later, we had the boat delivered. But little did we know, we'd barely get to use this boat for the next 9 months.
We had a baby!
No, that's not what happened. Hurricane Helene came. This hurricane was forecasted to go up through northern Florida, but that means that due to the rotation of the hurricane, the bottom part here would send all the wind towards Florida, meaning a storm surge for us located here. All right, I got my phone, it's charged up. All right, this is Hurricane Helene. Well, not yet, but it's going to be. This is the day before the hurricane, and we're going up to the boat because we haven't prepped it yet. I mean, it just kind of got sprung on us, and we have to do it. We tried to go up there earlier, but it was too much rain and wind. We just had to take the bimini top down and adjust the line. So, yeah.
Well, hopefully we get a little break so we can get that bimini put down.
All right, like the last couple hurricanes, this is kind of like the calm before the storm. We're in between bands right now. So, night, it's kind of peaceful out here. Last time it was like a foot over that, over the parking lot, which it looks to me like that would be absolutely fine. And before it gets dark, let's go back up and check on the boat one last time as the tide rises. The water has already filled the boat ramp and is higher than I've ever seen it before. The water's beginning to rise and it's already over the docks. We're forecasted to get 5 to 7 feet of surge, and this is about 2 feet of storm surge right now. Look at those docks over there.
Oh my God.
Both of these stern lines you see will break tonight after sawing through our swim platform.
Well, our spring line is tight, so Jason's out there fixing it, I guess.
This is a 26-foot boat in a 28-foot slip, so we have the lines as about as long as we can get them.
Oh yeah, you can't go in there.
Oh my God, that's crazy. There's nothing we can do at this point. It would be too dangerous to go back there, and there's really no point to it. The water is going to rise, and there's just nothing we can do about it. It's 6 a.m. in the marina. There's some cars in the water receded, so we're going to walk and go see if we can get to the boat.
What?
The boat sank.
Oh, here.
Holy cow. Jesus. Oh no. The catamaran? Oh, that's not the catamaran. Something else sunk over there too. Holy cow. Look at this ship. Oh my God, look at the pontoon boat on the dock. Holy shit, our
Oh
boat.
shit, our boat. Oh no.
Oh my God. Our boat is on the dock. We gotta get some the scratches all on the side.
I know.
Trashed. Yeah,
What is this?
I don't even know if the other part of that dock. Wow.
They're gonna have to get a crane to get that off there. Jason is loosening the bow line a little bit super tight. We're hoping that when the tide comes up, we're going to be able to float back into our slip. Well, we got her off the dock. She's in the wrong slip, but that's okay. Looks like the dock came up and got stuck on the pilings.
This egret was making an easy meal from all the fish that got stuck when the water receded.
All the electrical boxes.
Figure out why there's a line
Down.
here. Why is there a line here going over there?
Yeah. Well, this is where we were standing yesterday, hoping that everything was going to be okay, and which I guess for the most part it was, but wow, look at that.
Many people across Florida suffered way more than we did, losing their homes, their livelihoods, or even loved ones. But we have to file an insurance claim for this boat and find a way to get it out of the water to get it repaired. In the meantime, we started getting messages from our viewers that they saw Envision on the news wrecked on shore. And as you can see from these photographs, Envision just came apart. her top side is no longer attached, and every piece is just separated. And you can see the sails were still on, which nobody should leave sails on a sailboat when a hurricane's approaching. We always took them off. And it's just crazy to look at this and see everything we worked so hard for just completely destroyed. So I guess that's it for Envision. And we have a new boat to worry about now, and it has its own damage. So we have to figure out what's going to happen with that. Looking at the dock and what we can see of the bottom of the boat, there could be damage underneath, and water could be entering the fiberglass through damage, so we really need to get this out of the water, but we had no way to do that. So we had to buy, or have made, a brand new trailer and buy a truck in order to haul the boat home so we could start to work on it. You know me, I like fixing things, so I would rather spend the money from the insurance on the vehicle and the trailer and then work on the boat myself and learn something new. So it was pretty extensive under here. There was damage all over it. Too many little scratches to repair one at a time. Gouges into the fiberglass. Same with underneath. It was really, really bad. Big gouges and problems that really needed to be addressed. I started by isolating the biggest gouges and filling them. I had to make sure I sanded them out and got everything completely filled, and then had to replace one of the port lights. I got it done pretty well after sanding and filling and sanding and filling over and over and over again. This was almost a 3-month process. After wet sanding several layers and buffing, I got everything nice and smooth and shiny. And then I ordered up some new bottom paint and some new Outdrive paint and got to work getting the bottom all refinished. It was really coming together, but it was time to address the Outdrive. The props had only been out about a year since being last taken off, but I still had a lot of trouble getting them off. So I was struggling with this prop, couldn't get it off, tried everything, heat, my own kind of pullers, but then Jeff at VersaChalk hooked me up, and look at, so like you can see these metal things, you can see where they were grabbing the back of the prop there as it comes off. That's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah. The bottom paint wasn't that old when we took it out of the water, but it's nice to have a nice fresh coat on the Outdrive and the bottom. Everything is looking great, and I'm excited to get it back in the water. Everything's shined up and looking better than when we bought it. And because our marina is now closed with hurricane damage, she would be in storage for months. But eventually our marina reopened, and we were so happy. We've been waiting for this day. We brought her back to the water. So it'd been a really long time, and we're finally able to get it back into the marina. We went out for an overnight. We were so excited to finally get to use our new boat after months and months. While we were out on anchor, we started to hear a trickling sound, and on some further investigation with holding our phones under the engine, we saw all this water pouring in. It was a pretty panicked situation because we were about 8 miles north of our marina, anchored out, but she had to come back out of the water and back home. If you didn't know, Outdrives use bellows that kind of look like dryer hoses, one for the exhaust, one for the drive shaft. So here's the bellows that the drive shaft goes through. When you tilt the engine up and down, this bends like a dryer hose and keeps the drive shaft from getting water on it. So the engine drive shaft comes through and just goes right into the Outdrive. And you can see this is really cleaned up. It used to be super dirty with shells all over it and barnacles. And you can see right there the hole in it. That's where water was coming in. And that's kind of what started this whole adventure with the leak. So I got busy and made a sled to pull the Outdrive off. Basically, it's just something to support the Outdrive so you can unbolt it and slide it back off the boat. Once off, you can see here where the drive shaft is hanging. That's the part that shouldn't have gotten underwater but did. The big round bearing you see on the drive shaft came out of that hole to the right, and that gimbal bearing also needs to be replaced. It also took out this area of the Outdrive, which has its own bearing, which water got inside of as well. The gimbal bearing sits here and the drive shaft goes through this hole to the engine. Here's the tool you use to install a new gimbal bearing and align the engine on its mounts. A new drive shaft, which was about $500. I also had to replace some other bearings as well as seals inside the Outdrive due to saltwater intrusion. This all had just been replaced as well, but with everything back together, I think I have it. Let's put her back in the water and find out. Got a brisk morning this morning, high 50s. So we're gonna test out our top here and see what it's like. Go to a little island and take a hike. Not a lot of boaters going out today because it's kind of chilly. Cold start here. Been a few weeks maybe. Tell me when I can turn. Turn? Yeah. This boat's not as maneuverable as most of the small power boats we've had, but it's a heck of a lot more maneuverable than a 28-foot sailboat. We got a 3/4 tank. Off to the right here you can see all these docks are still all closed and all messed up from the storm that was a year ago. Alright, cruising out to the channel. Going 6 miles an hour. It's nice in here on a sunny day. It's nice and warm in here, or feels perfect. And it's like 59 outside. Along at 23 miles an hour, about 3,000 RPM. It's not too loud in here. No wind at all. So this is great for the winter time here in Florida, where it never gets really very cold, but it's maybe cold enough where you wouldn't go boating. Autopilot. Alright, we're going to turn off here and go this way to go to Caladesi Island. Right around that red channel marker there and turn left. Head in there is the only spot deep enough to go across. Everywhere else it's between 2 and 3 feet.
Pretty narrow passage.
We're going to go around this little brown "Welcome to a State Park" sign and down this little river. Yeah, maybe little shark fins instead of, hard to tell. Yeah, something I see there. They're all closed, so I gotta go in this one.
Yeah, we haven't been here since the hurricane last year, and you used to be able to stay here overnight. But now they only have day docks available. That whole section there is still closed, I guess.
Boats over 12-foot beam only. Well, if that's all that's open, that's where I gotta go.
Yeah.
That area over there is all closed because it got those docks floated up over these holes, these pilings, and floated off, and they haven't raised them and fixed them yet. And I flew my drone over here to look at it. Oh, we just paid in the ranger station. They showed us a bunch of pictures of all the hurricane damage here. Look at that. All right, let's go. Kind of the Florida scrub. Saw palmetto.
Makes sense because it looks like a saw.
Yeah.
Can't
can't get over to the beach on this trail because during the storm that bridge got taken out. Some other boats pulled up, and one over there, the last one, a 39-foot Sundancer. That's a nice cabin cruiser. Alright, that's good. We had a little hike, getting all the lines tidied up. Let's take a ride about 10 miles north and anchor off a sandbar. We're finally getting to enjoy our boat. It's really nice being able to get places fast again. After having the sailboat and kind of just hitting the same 10 miles all the time, this is a lot better to just get there and then relax. We're able to see more and do more, and we're really having a good time on it. But we want to take a nice longer trip somewhere where we can do a couple overnights or just travel a little further away. We are on the open road, baby. 56 miles to go. Just coast now. Oh my gosh! And yeah, just it's kind of simpler and easier with this boat. Just hit